Paradise Hills. This is such a beautiful view up here. Well, the wife is just not very happy, and you know, she's been talking about wanting to move back closer to her parents. We've got a kid that is going to be off to college next year, and she wants to be a little bit closer to him. I don't know, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to consider doing something different. Oh, I don't know. I got to think about it. I've got to think about it. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Farms in Paradise Hills. This map is developed by the wonderful Stevie. We're still on Farming Sim 15, obviously. This is Saturday morning, the 22nd of October, and this is the very last weekend, the very last Saturday that we must endure before Farming Sim 17 finally releases. And you know something, folks? There is a gold coin, and it's the very first gold coin that I've actually discovered. I've never really bothered with them, and I just happened to climb up here because I wanted to do a little bit of soul searching and just kind of setting things up for a storyline that you guys will hear about shortly. But so yeah, so it's Monday, day 8, and this is one of my favorite spots to come up and take a look at all of our fields and the farm and watch the sunrises and the sunsets. And yeah, well, let's get our day started. We've got a lot to do today. It's Monday, of course. Today is dairy day, so we can haul milk to the dairy. And what we're going to do here is we're going to fire up our combine, and we're going to get one of our hired workers just to shuttle this down to the southeast farm for us. And just have him stop and wait for us once he gets down there. Now, we will bounce over here to our wonderful Fent, and we're going to pull our milk tanker out of the garage here, and we're going to go down and start tackling our milk storage. You may recall from previous episodes I was kind of struggling with trying to figure out how to get the MilkMax machine to work. That was my own fault. I had a incorrect version of this Cote tanker, and you know, that was, if you read the instructions, which I will admit that I didn't do, so shame on me, Stevie, for not reading the instructions that you so kindly placed into the mod. And you say make sure you update your Cote universal tanker, which again I failed to do. And that was the reason. I was running an older version of this tanker mod, and it works fine for everything that we've hauled up to this point. And again, I've used this on other maps, not Stevie maps, but other maps where there was a MilkMax machine, but the MilkMax was automatically emptied for you. So the issue, obviously, was the fact that while this tanker will haul water, it'll haul fuel, it'll haul milk, fertilizer, it didn't recognize homogenized milk. So when you put milk into the homogenizer, which we're going to do here momentarily, after a period of time, that milk, the homogenizer essentially homogenizes the milk. Imagine that, and so it's a different, it's a different product type, and so because that trailer, my old mod was not set up for that. That's why I couldn't get the fill point to work. So so that's the deal there. So yeah, we are going to be winding down this series in very short order, actually. Kind of working on a bit of a storyline. I had mentioned that, I was really impressed with both the bipolar prophet and even my griefy, and how they have a storyline going on their Old Ridge Farm series. And it's rather intriguing, it's rather interesting to follow, and the storyline kind of helps give reason to anxiously sit on the edge of the sofa for them to release another episode, because it's something different. Not many people are doing that. And so the challenge for me is going to be in sticking to that, and I think it may be hard. So I may sort of go in and out of storyline mode versus just commentary from Jerry, especially because Farming Sim 17 is so new, or it will be so new when I get it in just a couple of days' time, that sort of my nature of why I am recording videos and uploading them to YouTube for Farming Sim and just other interests of mine. I've always enjoyed helping others and sharing something that I've learned with others, so that you can experience the same excitement and everything that I am experiencing. So maybe a little bit of in and out, but I've kind of got a storyline, and I sort of teed that up with the opening of this video. So yeah, my wife is, she's really homesick. We live out well a ways from her family, and she's really been wanting to get closer to them. And then we have an oldest child that is that is starting school soon, college, and oh, let me pull up the F1 menu. I can't remember. So it's R to refill the Milk Max machine. Nice hose animation there. But yeah, I've been, and I'm sure you have as well, have been watching all the preview, Farming Sim 17 preview videos that have been out there. A lot of really good content has been put out. Some folks have done an outstanding job and have dedicated many hours since about Wednesday. I think Wednesday was the first live stream that I saw, and that was Brad M73, and I've seen other live streams. Unfortunately, some of those were in German or some other language that I couldn't recognize. And we'll cut through the forest on our way back. But Brad M73 streamed for, oh my gosh, I mean, he must have, he probably has been streaming for 8+ hours a day since Wednesday. A couple of different sessions a day. He'll stream for 3-4 hours, and then come back and do another 3 to 4 hours or so of streaming, and has been, trying to. It's difficult because when you're live streaming, he's trying to monitor the chat. He's had anywhere from, on the low end, a few hundred, like 500, 600 viewers, all the way up to over 2,000 at one particular point in time that I saw. And everybody's wanting to see all the different aspects of Farming Sim 17, and he's trying to, I can sort of sense that he's trying to make everyone happy. At the same time, he's also trying to make himself happy, because obviously 17 is also new and exciting for him as well. And but he's done a good job, real good job with running his live streams. And sometimes he gets, he'll say, okay, I'm gonna go grab this tractor and this tipper, and I'm gonna go do something. And so I've been kind of watching from work, and it's like, okay, cool, so I will kind of try to pay attention to what he's going to do, and he'll get sidetracked a little bit because somebody will ask a question in the chat, or he'll just kind of lose his train of thought because he's got so much going on. But it's been an incredible live stream. Also, Daggerwin is a YouTuber from the UK, from England, and he's already started his Let's Play series. Now, I don't think I haven't seen any live streams from Daggerwin. I know that he talks about the fact that he has pretty poor quality internet speeds, so I don't think he's live streaming, but he has pushed out 3 or 4 videos, I believe, that I've seen on his channel featuring 17. He did a very, very good first review, sort of first look kind of video, where he sort of goes through the tutorial, and then he did he basically bought every tractor that's in the game and did a sort of an overview of that, which was pretty cool, because obviously there's so many different versions of equipment that we haven't seen before, and that's kind of what Brad M73 has done as well. Is he he cheated in several $1 million so that he could afford to just buy whatever he needed to be able to sort of help please the folks in the stream that want to see this or want to see that, without having to wait until you accrue the money. Now, Daggerwin is playing in career mode. I've not noticed that he has cheated any money in yet, so he's kind of taking things a bit slow, as one does when they're playing in career mode. I think he started off in normal mode, and I think with normal mode you start off with about 20,000 in cash, which is what I'm planning to do as well. I'm gonna start the map in normal mode, at least just to get a feel for 17, and we'll probably play Goldcrest Valley in normal, and we'll look at what's down the road as far as mod maps and stuff when those begin to appear. But the good news is that there's already 18 mods available, and this was the number as of yesterday. So there was 18 mods on Giant's Mod Hub. So basically, as you probably have heard, Farming Sim 17 has a sort of a built-in mechanism for retrieving mods that are part of the Giant's Mod Hub. So like with 15, if you go out to the Giant's main website, you can click on mods and you can download mods from Mod Hub, and you just basically install those the way that you would install any other mod. But with 17, they've sort of given a sort of access into the Mod Hub from the game itself, so you can see what's there. You can sort of sort, from what I could see from Brad's stream yesterday, and he kind of went through it rather quickly, but you can sort of sort by vehicle type or mod type. And so there's some tractor mods that are out there. I believe I saw either a tanker mod or maybe it was a sprayer mod, and I've seen, I believe, one tipper and some implements, maybe a cultivator or a plow or something like that I saw out there. And then the first mod that is sort of I guess a scripting mod, which obviously won't be available for console folks, was a crop damage mod. So essentially, what we have today through drive control, that if you go out through a field, it creates crop damage. It creates the tram lines, and so that is a mod that's available through Mod Hub, and so you can just install that whenever you start playing 17, and that way, if you want that extra level of immersion, then you certainly got that option to do that. So I'm definitely planning on doing that. And then we'll just have to watch and see, where and when other mods release. Giants has already created all of the discussion forums on their main forum for Farming Sim 17. That occurred sometime between, I think, Thursday and Friday, because I think I looked out there on Thursday and it wasn't there yet, or at least they only had the one thread or two threads that they had started many months ago. But they've basically, if you go out there and if you've frequented their forums for FS15 or maybe even 13, you've noticed how they've got all the sections and everything. Well, they have more or less the same thing already set up for 17, and there's a thread tracking mods that folks are finding, and so there's already a list of mods that are available through external websites. So that's kind of cool. All right, so that won't fit. We will back up here and put this 1,400 or so liters in this one here. All right, so for now anyways, I think I'm going to just leave the fent down here. I'll set the parking brake, and we will bounce down to the south end of the farm, and we will grab our combine here, and we'll stop the driver. We can delete that, remove that, and go ahead and get started doing the harvest down here. You might remember we've got two fields. I think one is canola and one is barley, if I'm not mistaken. And both are actually ready to harvest today. So we will go set that up and get that started. Let's just quickly look and see . we've got 12 chickens ready for slaughter. We can look into seeing what it's going to take to get those moved over to the egg laying station so that we can try that out and see what that's all about. We may not do that this episode, or maybe we will. I don't know. What we'll probably do is set the harvester up on auto combine, so we'll hire somebody to do that, and we'll run the tipper for him. And of course that would free us up to do a few other things, so yeah, we'll do that. First, and then probably let him go up and down. Alright, let's get our tipper positioned. So I've seen in FS15, I've seen the tip anywhere function. That's really cool. Brad demonstrated that. Some things that I was not aware of with 17. I wasn't aware that, and to be honest, let me just say that I've not watched every single video or read every single fact sheet or every single dev blog that has come out from Giants in the last 2 or 3 months or whatever that they've been putting that content out, because I did want some level or some element of surprise when I first started playing the game. I kind of thought that would be kind of cool, and so I wasn't aware of all of the placeables that come with 17. Obviously, you've got the car washer or the pressure washer, you've got the bee houses, the wind turbine, that kind of stuff. But they've got a lot of additional equipment sheds or storage type sheds. They've got a workshop building. They've got a hayloft that's pretty cool. It looks like you can dump, I don't know if you can dump hay bales there or if it's loose straw, but that's kind of cool. So let's actually look at our store for just a moment and take a look at what we would need to be able to move those chickens. Animal transporter, we can't really afford that. I don't know, will these do chickens? Yes, they will. I don't think we need anything that we certainly don't need a semi version of that. Let's see. It doesn't say how many this holds, but oh yeah, it does down here. 80 chickens, 140 chickens. Well, we're not gonna get that big into the chicken business, so we will get this guy here. We'll buy him, and let's see. Let me just check one other category here. Yeah, these are showing up under miscellaneous as well, but I think they're all the same. So I will go back over here and grab it from here, and grab this one. Or actually, I suppose we could just rent this guy. This would be easy because that way we don't have to go and get a tractor. So let's do that. Let's just rent the MAN animal transporter. Default color is fine, and we'll rent him for an hour. and we'll go pick that up momentarily here. Let's. Oh, the other cool thing about 17 is in 15 when you're sort of dinking around in these menus, everything stops. In 17, all your hired workers keep working. So, um, you know, that could be, well, that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, but I think it's pretty cool. So let's just actually tab down. Unfortunately, hang on. Let me just tab through these. Go to the shop and grab this guy. And what we'll do is we'll set him on course and have him drive northwest to southwest farm. We'll have him stop. And we'll add him to trucks. All right. So he'll come around momentarily, and then we'll see what we can do with those chickens. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool how the workers keep working. So I think I mentioned this in the last recording, in the last video. I am taking off. I've got some comp time, which if you're not familiar with that term, maybe it's just a U.S. Thing, but basically I have vacation time. I have, well, the company I work for, we don't have sick time. We don't accrue sick time. Sick time is treated as, well, it's sort of referred to as unlimited, but obviously there's some restrictions around it just to prevent abuse. But you know, the company more or less believes that, you know, a healthy workforce is a better workforce. And so if you need to go to the doctor, even for, like, you know, routine checkups, like a annual physical or dentist appointments, things like that, that's all part of the unlimited sick time scheme. So you don't have to take, you know, vacation time or have to worry about, you know, doing something over your lunch hour. It's just sort of included. And then we've got sort of comp time that's factored in there that, you know, if you, and it's more or less sort of just managed through your boss, through your manager or whatever. But anyway, I've got a couple of days of comp time where I've, you know, worked additional hours here and there, and so yeah. So anyway, long story short is Tuesday the 25th and Wednesday the 26th, I plan to take those days off, and it's just, you know, my personal time. My wife is working, and so yeah. So I'm going to spend that time enjoying Farming Sim 17. How cool is that? How cool is that? Alright, looks like the milk truck has arrived, so let's go and mess about with that for a bit. So we will stop our driver, we'll get rid of this, we don't need course play for this, we just needed course play to sort of automate getting this vehicle down here so we could go do something else. So I've never played with I've never played with the hen laying station or egg laying station, but I have played maps with these greenhouses, and I will admit I'm sort of bad about shutting doors and closing gates. The chickens are very well behaved and they won't run out, so I think we want to do X to unfold, and I think it's pretty close here, the trigger. Maybe near this gate. Do have to open that gate for them. I know in States, I think it was the last time that I played with, messed around with raising chickens, and I know that the fill point was pretty narrow. Okay, here we go. Finally got it. See how you got to get really close to it. Unfortunately, I don't think the gate really has much to do with it. So fattened chicken 12, start filling is R. So we're going to fill these guys up. They just very well behaved. We'll walk over and load up there. And there we go. So we'll close the gate and we'll fold up the truck. And let's get back in the cab, and then we'll drive over and see what we do here. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like the drop point is about here. And let's unfold and let's unload and hope they all go in there. Yep. Instead of getting slaughtered, you're gonna lay some eggs. Alright, well that's how that works. So I'm guessing that we're probably going to need to put some water in. I don't know if this has its own page. I don't think it does. Nope, it does not. Let's see if it shows on this other view here. Where are those? Chickens, eggs, young animals, fattened chickens. Yeah, I don't think it shows. So let's get rid of that. Let's go. We need to go and empty our canola. Kind of keep things going here. Well, where is he? Oh, there he is. I think it would have been quicker to go the other way, but oh well. Other cool thing about 17, obviously from what I've seen in the preview videos and such, is the, and I said this even before I saw these preview videos, just based on some of the gameplay videos that Giants released, is that this is absolutely not just a copy paste of 15. This is truly, I'm not going to go so far as to say that this is, it's not completely re-engineered. It's not everything that we want from a farm simulation type program, but it is much, much different from 15. And a lot of the questions that was getting answered or getting asked in Brad's stream yesterday, I noticed, was, hey Brad, is it worth it? Is it worth it to upgrade? And basically, yeah, in my opinion, and I think Brad more or less felt the same way, and some of the other folks that I've seen as well, that it is definitely worth the upgrade. So let's move this guy out of the way. We don't really need him anymore because, but let's just jump out and go back over here and see what we might need to do. If there's is there a panel maybe that will tell us what's required? Anything? Hello, can you tell us what's required? What do you need? Do you need water? Normally those will tell you something. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to need some grain and water. So let's just actually start there. Let's do this. Let's send. That's not what I wanted. Let's go into the store, into the garage, and let's send the egg truck back. We don't need that rental getting away from us, because I tend to forget that I've got these things rented, and next thing I know, yeah, well. What we'll do right quick is we'll run around here, we'll empty the harvester, we'll take this back to the grain silage, and then we'll grab some grain and see if we can drop that for them. Also a lot of differences between obviously 15 and 17. Like, for example, on in 15, just about every map that, and including the default maps, you have to go and you fill up your seeds and your fertilizer on your farm. With Goldcrest Valley, you actually have to go to the store and buy these fertilizer bags and seed bags, which is kind of cool, because that's kind of how I think it would, that's obviously how it would work in the real world. Of course, I mean, we might be somewhat simulating having those items delivered to you and stored in these silos here, but it's also kind of cool to have to manage that yourself. Now, Modded maps, you know, I don't know that they may have the luxury of placing you know, fertilizer and seed and such on the map itself, kind of what we're accustomed to here. But at least with Goldcrest Valley, okay, so I was going to actually fill up here. Where's the pipe? There it is. Let's do wheat. That's where it goes right there, and I guess it took all of it. Alright, so that's green. We'll mess about with the other stuff here momentarily. We'll get back over here and see how our combine's doing. He's full. Barley crop looks nice and healthy. We'll send him down because that we can't. I don't think we can haul straw in this tipper, and but we can with that small one. Just fudge slightly and move water in this. The chickens won't mind that the water tastes a little bit like milk. It'll be quicker than going back all the way back to the other farm to grab a water tanker. see how our greenhouses are doing here. I don't see that they've made anything yet. Alright, no big deal. We just set those up yesterday, so. See if we can get that woman back there working. I think she needs to. I think she needs things to do. I have no idea how much this holds either. I was surprised that it actually took that much grain, but I don't think it'll take 10,000 liters of water, but we'll see. Now, unfortunately, we're not gonna obviously have the time to do the fattened pigs and the fattened beef. So go back around here and speak to her and see what else she needs. I believe she needed straw. Too bad this is not on the outside. So we've got grain, we've got water. Yeah, we just need straw. Yep, so eggs and manure is the byproduct. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Straw. That small tipper trailer and tractor will be around in just a few minutes, and we'll move some straw down. At least I hope I have some. It doesn't show there. You know, I will miss quite a few of the helper type mods. Now, one thing that I believe Brad mentioned this, or maybe it was Daggerwind, maybe it was both of them, but they could not figure out in 17 how you get this, the weather forecast. This doesn't appear, at least I believe Brad pointed this out and said this wasn't available. So I'm not real sure how you sort of predict the weather, how that works in 17. Obviously it's probably not a problem right now because, you know, soil mod's not available, and I know that although they've made some changes with how fertilizing works, you now need to fertilize 3 times, and also you have to plow every third harvest. At least you have to do those things to get the maximum yield. But if you can't predict the weather, I'm just kind of curious how, if soil mod ever comes around, how we would do that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and fill this guy up since they tend to like a little more than normal. I don't know, maybe there'll be a mod for that at some point that will help show more of the weather, or maybe they just didn't see it. And obviously I don't have 17 yet to dig around and look myself. Kind of thought you might see the straw and the chickens and everything in those little I'm assuming those are like nesting boxes where the chickens live? Don't know. Like I said, I've never used this particular type of thing before, this mod, as I'm sure it shows, because I didn't know where anything went. So let's see, is she working yet? Hello? Can you work now, please? Just make sure they've got everything: straw, grain, water, chickens. Alright, I'm sure it's kind of like everything else. Info, the straw is empty. Well, I just brought in 11,000 liters of straw. Maybe it's just one of those things that it has to, you know, that it just takes a few minutes before it fires up. Nice broom, nice shovel. Let's fast forward time just a little bit. Well, we'll see how that goes over time. I'm not gonna spend any more time messing about with it right now. And we're gonna send this guy back down because we're gonna harvest our fruit trees southeast to southwest. We're gonna harvest our fruit trees at some point in this game day. Faster for us to go the other direction. Now, same subject, but just a little bit different software application. Did you see the latest gameplay video from Cattle and Crops that showcased the AI functionality? That's pretty darn cool. You can, there's like a control panel, similar to this, where you can go through and you have what appears to be a tab for employees, and you can hire employees, and you can manage the employees' performance and I guess their overall satisfaction with working for you, and maybe their training aspects, stuff like that. But you can also basically instead of with FS15 and of course with 17, where you've got to you physically have to drive the equipment to the field, and then you have to get the worker started. In Cattle and Crops, what they were demonstrating in their AI video was that you can from just about anywhere, you can pull up the menu and say, okay, I want hired worker Fred or whatever his name is to go and cultivate field number 3, and Fred will get a tractor and a cultivator, and he will go and cultivate field number 3. You don't have to drive the tractor there and the equipment there. It tends to have automated that, and that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Of course, we'll see how all that works, and if it, they've got to, it's one thing to put that functionality into the game, but it's altogether different based on how that's going to actually work, and whether it's going to work without being, buggy as all get out. Now, switching back to FS17, I saw some possible bugs, or certainly some unique behavior in Brad's stream with regards to how AI functions. He was attempting to basically get AI working to do something on one of the fields, and the AI went just a little ways and then stopped. And then he restarted the AI, and it went a little ways and it stopped, and then he did it a third time, and the AI worked flawlessly from that point forward. So, we have those little quirks here in the game where if you want to hire an AI to fertilize and it's already been fertilized, he basically stops. Well, that's not really what was happening here. It was something altogether different, but he mentioned that he reported that through his Giants contacts, and not sure if they'll be able to do anything about it. I'm not really sure if the preview version that folks were using to stream with on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, if that is, if that's the version that we're all gonna get on Tuesday. I would sort of think that with the fact that at least with the CD versions or the DVD versions, whatever form of media that those come installed on, I would think that those have had to have been set and made maybe a few weeks ago to be able to get those to the online retailers like Walmart and Amazon, which basically have those here in the US, because you can't wait until a day or two before something's going to come out to basically send that code over and have those CDs or DVDs, whatever, burned. Of course, they could always handle update or fixes and stuff through an update. All right, we're full. Getting a fair amount of canola out of this. That's good, because canola's selling quite well right now. I don't know if we're in a high. Are we in a high? In a great demand? We are in a great demand. So that's good. That's our first great demand. That's actually lined up with what we've been doing, where we've got the product in our silo, and we've got the means to actually sell it. So that's good stuff. One thing that I noticed about the difference between 15 and 17 is the game physics seem to have been significantly improved in 17. So of course that was something we were all hoping would be the case, but sometimes you just never know. And but from what I've seen, both from Brad's streams as well as Daggerwin's recorded video, yeah, it seems to be much improved. This guy's full yet, so we will Let's just jump down and see if our chickens are laying any eggs yet. Oh, they are. Excellent. Excellent. Let's go take a look at that. Of course, now this reminds me of... What?
Ich bin die Eierfrau und mache den Bauer mit meiner Arbeit glücklich.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't understand what you're saying, but I appreciate you working hard. This sort of reminds me of an I Love Lucy episode. If you're an I Love Lucy fan, if you're old enough to even know what I'm talking about, you probably know that episode where Lucy and Ethel are working in the chocolate factory, and their boss or whatever, their shift supervisor or their boss or whatever, is wanting them to increase their chocolate wrapping, packaging, whatever process, and they get a little bit behind, and they crank up the conveyor belt, and they can't keep up. Lucy and Ethel can't keep up, and so they start stuffing chocolates in their mouth and in their pockets and wherever else they can sort of find. Alright, well, we have, just looking over at my timer, I've gone actually over an hour. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, but I'm planning on editing out some of this and shortening the video down just a little bit. So I will go ahead and end the video here. I will finish the harvest of this canola field off camera, and may do just a couple of small other things off camera, and then I'll bring us all back together again, and we'll harvest the barley field that's just right next door to this, and probably maybe take some of this canola to market and sell that before the price falls out, especially since we're in a high demand, and I'm not sure when that ends, but we'll figure that out, and we'll do something about it. So anyway, I'll end the video and say thanks for watching, and come again soon. Bye-bye.